It's Olivia Grady, 2021 interview.
Is this really?
2022 interview. Take one.
I really did not know what you were doing there for a second, not gonna lie. I was like, oh, is this is the moment? Are we about to do a little bag? Never mind.
Is the scene starting?
Is the scene starting? I am Olivia Grady. Today's date, that's gonna be the hardest question out of all of them because it's February 26th. It's February 26th, 2022. God, this is too soon.
I have 1,298 Instagram followers.
Go off, sis. I would say it's probably around there. About, maybe a little bit more. Maybe a few more friends. Proud of that. But yeah, probably around the over 1,000 range. Are you pulling it up right now?
You're at 1,336.
Yeah, I'm proud of that. I'm gonna guess that it's one of me on my birthday, probably turning 24. My friend Hodge said like main character energy or something like that. I think that got like 200 likes or something like that, which is nice. People want to see me happy. That's cool.
I'm pretty sure it is a photo of me going to the Tonys in 2017.
Yeah, that makes sense too. I think that might be less now. I'm pretty sure it's the other one. It was pretty fun. We did that awesome production of DNA, which was kind of amazing because we were all at home and I think in very different locations as well. Like, I don't think everyone was just in New York. There was like a blizzard one night where we were having like technical difficulties. Someone had to go on a roof and like couldn't do that anymore. Like, it was just so fun though. And it was amazing that we were raising money for something. And then also just people really came out and showed up and watched us virtually do a thing. So I'd say it's been pretty great so far. And then I auditioned for something else, which was an amazing experience as well. So I feel like it's probably pretty similar to what I said last year, which I don't totally remember off the top of my head, but I think it's amazing that it's a group of young people from multiple backgrounds putting on things that we care about. I feel like so much to do with commercial theater is getting the right people to see your work, to fund you, you know, all of that. And I feel like if you can just get a group of young people together to make their own art, typically that stuff is more meaningful. We work really well together. We all went to school together and, you know, everyone kind of knows everyone who's in the collective, which I think is pretty dope. And this is just last year.
Interesting people doing innovative, interesting new work, really diving into character arcs and dialogue-heavy pieces, which is currently the type of art that I am really leaning towards and most interested in making at this moment.
Word.
We've done a couple of table reads and pilot readings that I love. Logan wrote one in particular that we did a reading of in his apartment.
Still my favorite one.
I think last year. And that was really fun, just getting a chance to kind of read new work all together as a group. That's what I love the most.
My hope is that when that finally comes to fruition, that one, I will be old enough to play the part that I read for. I'm not kidding. That was the best one.
It was the bar play.
Yeah. I love that one. DNA probably tops that a bit now because now I've met new people and honestly, nothing will ever get past that scene with Ephraim and Ryan like ever. I play that in my head almost embarrassingly, like a little too much. It was so good. It was so good. And we were on a freaking computer like people can do that here, like, I mean, brilliant. That definitely DNA.
I think my favorite moment in my career was when I got my EMC card, because it was just kind of one of those things that felt like it fell out of the air, but I had actually worked really hard to get. So it was just kind of one of those cool moments that the hard work paid off and it felt easy. But I also really enjoyed working on my senior project and producing and acting in a show as well.
I think what I was trying to explain in that of like why getting my EMC card was important was because literally someone had just like asked me if I wanted it. Like we were working on a show and I was understudying it, or rather I was assistant directing it, and one of the heads of like the program came up to me and was literally like, oh, you're doing really great work, like you're a good actor, you know, you're standing in, you're essentially being the understudy, like do you want to take your EMC card? I was just like, what? Like it just was like the randomest, but I know to get to that point I had to obviously like take other steps to get to that, so I guess it was just like weird how easy it felt. And I guess that's every good thing, right? Like it kind of just randomly happens and you're like, wow, I didn't even have to do anything. Like cut to the past like 10 years, like, oh, right. To change it up a little bit, I'll say I have really loved getting to know myself like more throughout this time, because I feel like that will inform my art and my artistry and me as an artist, and I feel like I know myself really well after these past 2 years. The people in my life, 100%. God, this is gonna sound so gross. I turned 25 and like life weirdly got put into perspective, strangely enough. I feel like it's old enough to be like, okay, we're not messing around. Like we're getting to a point where it's like, I'm very aware that we're not gonna be here forever, and the people around you aren't gonna be there forever, just because of literal, like, you know, we will not be here one day. So I think just, I love my people, I love my community, and that will always come first.
I think especially with global pandemics and the way the world is at right now, it is
Facts.
definitely making me shift my priorities and showing to me what my priorities are. And I would have to say that right now it is definitely being surrounded by loved ones.
Classic. Holds up. Holds up.
I love Audrey Hepburn. Anything that she does is absolutely brilliant. So I would probably have to say my favorite movie is Roman Holiday. That's a good one.
God, it's so hard. The Wizard of Oz is like my favorite as well, which I'm actually surprised I didn't remember saying that. Roman Holiday for sure is up there. But also like there's someone just introduced me to Frances Ha, which like was kind of the ultimate like declaration of love. I was like, you know me like that to show me that? Like, yeah, that is a movie for me. That was great. Of all time though, favorite movie, Wizard of Oz probably. I really love these interview series, honestly. I really love getting to know people and things that I feel like we wouldn't ask each other in a rehearsal setting. Like, I didn't know anyone's favorite movie, and I didn't know anyone's Instagram follower count or most liked photo. You know, it's good information to have. I probably liked, I liked all of your interviews, honestly, but I also like the Packcast video that you did with Michael Jorge. Shout out. I love that question so much. I don't know why. I take this very seriously, actually. I've also weirdly been looking into chakras and their colors. And recently I had a throat situation, so I was looking into throat chakras, and that color is blue, which is interesting. Love to know. but a big fan of sage green. Big fan.
Why is this the hardest question?
Bitch.
I really like pale blues. Probably a pale blue or white.
Weird.
White's not really a color, but I feel very hopeful and creative whenever I see like a blank piece of white paper.
Okay, but like, can I tell you a story actually really quick? Straight up, I did a rehearsal in this space, not this particular studio, but Alchemical, and the director, she walked in, she was like, I feel like I'm in a psych ward, this is the worst, like this whole thing, and I was like, I feel so good being in like a blank space. Like, I just get so easily cluttered and crowded with anything that's not like an empty space. So that actually holds up. White holds up a little bit too. I could, for sure. I'm choosing not to, but yeah, I mean, there's a shit ton of pressure everywhere, which I think is what I said last year, especially now and like being an artist. I think there's a ton of pressure that comes with that. Also, even a sense of like family members and people who don't really get it being like, why haven't you done that yet? Like, when are you gonna be on this show? Like, when are you gonna do Law and Order? Like, literally, like a classic question that I've gotten, and it's just like, you know, that's more of a them thing than a me thing. So I'm gonna say no, not right now. I'm trying really hard not to.
Yes. Most definitely, yes. I feel
An
like,
anxious queen.
especially as an artist, it's hard to not feel pressure, especially in this time. I think pedestrians, non-magical human beings, people who aren't artists, which everyone kind of is in a way, but people who aren't pursuing it as a career track, I feel like look to artists, especially in crazy times of crisis like now. So I definitely feel a certain pressure in that sense to have like the right answers. Like that quote that keeps getting thrown around, you know, Shakespeare wrote one of his greatest plays in quarantine.
Do you remember that? Oh my god, that
I
quote
think there's
was
a lot
everywhere.
of pressure in that sense, but I think there's also pressure in a sense of like making money and being financially secure and having bills to pay. So in that sense, pressure there as well. All kinds of pressure.
I probably feel best about that answer, honestly. But I also feel like it's about how you view something like that. Like, if an audience is coming to watch you, what they take away from you is a them thing. And if I can help you get to that point, that's amazing. That's exactly what I want. But there's no point in putting added pressure on yourself to deliver a certain result, I guess. And that's on growth.
Someone having an opinion on a walk of life that they don't experience themselves, or having some sort of strong negative opinion towards someone or something that is not their own path, or
At Trans Lives Matter.
trying to bend and manipulate negatively to get what you want. That doesn't feel good to me.
I hate that carries, but yeah, that's, yeah. Making something that's not your business. Like, why? We've got enough shit going on, man. Like, you are carrying so much shit on your shoulders. Don't voluntarily put more on. Like, yeah, no, I agree.
Slow down and always lead with kindness and light.
I know like what place I was in when I said that, and slowing down really paid off. A year ago. That's hard. I feel like it's just one of those things where like you do the best with what you can with the tools that you have. So the tools that I have now weren't the tools that I had then. So I feel like I performed the best of my ability at that point. I would say trust your instincts, but don't let, find the difference between the anxiety and then your instinct, because that's hard to differentiate sometimes. But don't lose out on something because you think it's an instinct when you're being anxious, and then vice versa. Trust yourself too.
Well, didn't perform with, but I did get to assistant direct Jerry McIntyre in the regional premiere of Kinky Boots, which is really exciting. There was a lot of really great, incredible theater actors in that production as well. Brian Sears was in it. He was incredible, so probably those guys.
Does that change?
Biggest person, probably not. Wow, Brian was a dream though to work with. He's amazing. But I didn't perform with, probably biggest, no, I don't think so. That probably holds up still.
I have so many. I would love to be in a Greta Gerwig movie, 110%. I think she's incredible. I think Spike Lee is incredible. And I would love to work opposite Shia LaBeouf.
That did not age well. Yikes. Well, that's changed a little bit. I think in another question I say like Florence Pugh for something. I would love to work with Florence Pugh. Jordan Peele also, love his work. Also, like, people who I love are in my community. Like, if we were in like a project together, I mean, that would be amazing, which I think is kind of cool too. I almost like want to just keep working with my own crew, obviously expanding that. And it would be amazing to work with anyone who has paved a way in movie making and television and theater. But I mean, I just want to keep growing and leveling up with my people. I gotta give a shout out to Michaela Bartholomew, who's in King Richard. She plays the oldest sister. I thought that movie was amazing, and I'm very proud of her. I mean, there have been so many great works actually that have come out this past year. Worst Person in the World, I mean, anyone in that film. Also, I loved The Lost Daughter as well. Olivia Colman, amazing. Maggie Gyllenhaal's writing blew me away. There's a lot of really great artists. Yeah, I have a ton.
Florence Pugh
that holds up.
Is a beautiful performer. I think she is just brilliant. There's so many incredible people, but she's definitely the first name that comes to mind.
That checks out. That no one's like really stopping you from doing anything, and people are more concerned with themselves, and sometimes that gets projected onto you in a way that it seems like I don't want you to do that thing, but no one like is really stopping you. No one has like truly, there's not really too many rules in life. Don't do anything stupid or hurt anyone, but like no one's truly stopping you from living the life that you want to. And I'm still working on getting to that life, but I think definitely, you just got to do what's best for you at the end of the day and make your own rules. It's such a weird time in the industry, and it's changing sort of, not really. I think like the theater and performance major at SUNY Purchase, like choose your own adventure, man. If something is not working for you, you kind of just like form your own way then. I mean, most people who succeed have their people, and like that's who they grow with. And I feel like making your own stuff, you know, hitting send on the email, like all of these things are small, but like can actually be really important. So I'd say if something is not working for you, do something else. Don't keep doing the same thing. And also, it's just not a one size fits all. You really got to know yourself. You have to know your worth, and know is a full sentence.
It's hard. It's definitely not for the weak of heart, for sure. But I think that if you keep being connected to your purpose and your why and your mission statement, then things will kind of just happen. But it's definitely something that you have to keep checking in with yourself about. Don't be afraid to ask for help and advice, because more often than not, people do actually want to help. And it's a beautiful field to work in. Keep at it, keep dreaming, and yeah, keep checking in with yourself.
Yeah. That's loaded. I mean, obviously, definitely more women of color in positions of power, more Black women in positions of power, maybe younger writers as well. It's hard when a lot of older people who kind of hold the keys are in charge and have a lot of money, and most of those people are white. That's a tricky spot to be in. But also, I wish it wasn't so money oriented. I wish the industry was a little more accepting, and there wasn't certain things like you have to have headshots that are new and updated and they cost like so much. And you know, obviously it's a balance because photographers, that's their craft and they deserve to make money as well. But I think just it's a tricky one. If there was a way that people who weren't born into money could grow and succeed, that would be pretty great. Nepotism is very real also. So I wish it was more of an equal playing ground, which is definitely going to take a lot of work. But also too, I wish we were committed to doing smaller, more consistent steps, actionable things every day, rather than just like one big talk once a year or every, you know, if something bad happens and then we feel like we need to address it. I wish it was more of like, okay, every day we are actively working towards this goal, rather than just like, the world is blowing up, let's talk about it now, and then it goes away. That probably would be mine.
Oh, so many. I mean, the biggest one is just having more voices and having more room for equity and having, you know, some more people that look like me could be sitting back and listening. Let some people who haven't had their voices raised up be the main people talking at the moment.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but probably Instagram. I am such a visual person, but I definitely think we should be more intentional with it. So I'm trying to work on being more intentional with my Instagram use.
Yeah, it's probably Instagram. TikTok I've also joined as well, which it's cool. It's funny, you know. It's all like social media is all what you make of it, and like I can totally tell when I'm getting bogged down by it, and you know, just get yourself some blue light glasses. The fact that there's something so big and terrible happening in the world right now, and we just sit and like watch it happen. It's hard to really know what to do, but it's also weird too, because we're all just kind of going about normal every day. It's a weird time. I'm very lucky to be in a place where I guess I'm watching it happen rather than living it, but it feels very odd to just watch it happen. Yeah, That's weird.
Trusting that the things that I want to happen will and can happen just because I want them. That's been a really tricky lesson to learn and a tricky thing, especially now. But patience. Definitely being patient.
That's ironic. Patience. Well, yeah, it's valuable. Oh gosh.
I think half of it I would use to support friends' art, and the other half I would definitely put towards the Broadway Advocacy Coalition.
Yeah, that holds up. They're doing amazing work. And they won a Tony. Like, amazing. So well deserved. God, having a blank check. I mean, to pay rent is also important. Like, but also, like, there's so many people who need money. I feel like I would just want to go, like, down the street being like, how much do you need? Great. How much do you need? Like, great. Like, let's just, how can I evenly distribute this? Wow, 26. The golden birthday. Big year, big deal. Keep doing you. You're pretty great, I think. This has been Olivia Grady here with Blackwolves. Plug anything? I mean, follow your curiosity and look into things that speak to you and donate to them and support them. That's what I'll plug. But also, my website is olivia-grady.com.